So far we have 12 cookies. I always see how different creators use, even though at least I know the flavour is always there, this is just what I am talking about. Okay, this is a good flipping cookie. It's really good. Good morning, guys. It is 8:30. I'm going to visit my mum today, so I thought it could be nice to take her some cookies. So that's what I'm going to do today. And if you are curious about the cake that I just removed, that is my coconut cake that I made the other day. Milk chocolate and dark chocolate. The chocolate is done. I'm going to go on to my dry ingredient prep. So for dry ingredients, I'm going to do 1 cup of plain flour, maybe like a cup and a half. 1 cup and a half of flour, half a teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda, half a teaspoon of baking powder. Okay, well, this baking powder is finished. Let me do a bit more. Nice. A pinch of salt, like a teaspoon of salt. Mix these together. Okay. And now we're going to get started on actually building our cookie dough. So to build the cookie dough, I'm going to use caster sugar and dark brown sugar. Okay. So I'm going to do half a cup of caster sugar. And then about half a cup of soft dark brown sugar. And then I'm just gonna mix these together. Then next I'm gonna do half a cup of vegetable oil. If you have seen any of my videos up until this point, you will know that I prefer oil, or that I basically just bake with oil. I think oil is a lot more forgiving and it gives really nice, just gives really nice outcomes. So I'm going to pour that in and I'm going to scrape all the oil. One thing I've learned in my baking journey is that I have a tendency to over whisk, to over mix. So when I'm making cookies, what I've learned over the years of making cookies, it actually, fun fact, it actually took me like a year to master the perfect chocolate chip cookie. And the thing that helped me was mixing everything by hand, so just using a whisk like this. We're gonna do 1 egg, 1 medium, well there should be a large egg, but 1 large egg. It looks a bit small. Sometimes I feel like people swap out eggs in the shop. So when you're buying like a box of eggs, you think you're buying a box of large eggs, but you're probably buying like medium eggs. Then I'm gonna do like a teaspoon and a half of vanilla extract. I love this vanilla extract. I was using another vanilla extract which I didn't love. What's that, shell? Yeah. And then gonna whisk that in. I love the color of this. It's a gorgeous, I say like everything is gorgeous, but I love the color. It's like a nice caramel color, like a lovely caramel brown. And I love when it kind of sticks to itself but not fully. I think that's when you know you've got a good consistency. That is nice. I think that is actually perfect. I'm going to take my dry ingredients and just going to dollop that all in, and this is when I'm going to switch from my whisk to my spatula and I'm going to fold. It's funny because it actually took me so long to master the art of folding flour, and I think I'm still not 100% like good at folding in ingredients, but I'm learning. I also need to remember to scrape down the bowl. Scraping down the bowl is super important, and like making sure I get every last bit. The texture so far is making me feel good. Like it's not super loose, but it's not super hard. It's a nice kind of in between consistency, and it kind of feels like wet sandy Play-Doh kind of. Now it's time for our chocolate bits to go in because most of the flour has mixed in. See that nice, like, that is the consistency that I need to remember to always go for, and I think this was what was wrong with my last batch of cookies that I made. If you know, you know. So I've got my board of chocolate chunks, and I'm gonna just toss that in. And then again, I'm gonna fold this in and make sure there's chocolate in every morsel, like so. I absolutely love making these cookies, so whenever they don't come out exactly how they're supposed to come out, I get a bit disheartened, like last time. Even though at least I know the flavour is always there, I just need to make sure that the actual visual is there. But I'd say this is mixed enough. I don't want to over mix it. My intrusive thoughts just keep mixing. But here I can see that every scoop I take is going to have a fair amount of chocolate in it. That is absolutely gorgeous. So now I'm going to let this chill in the fridge. It is 8:51, so I think I'll leave it for like 3 hours so we can come back at 12. Let me get my timer on. I'm gonna come back at 12 and then we're gonna bake these off. Ordinarily I would leave this in the fridge overnight, but because I didn't make this last night, we don't have that luxury. So I'm gonna set my timer for 3 hours. Welcome back, guys. It's been 2 hours. Now we're gonna bake our cookies and pray that they came out well. I have also been preheating my oven for the last 20 minutes, so hopefully we can bake these off in a good amount of time. Now ordinarily I would use a baking mat, but because I've been making cakes recently, I have a lot of cast off baking paper, so I'm going to use the baking paper instead of the baking mat. Dun, da, da, da. And here is our chilled cookie dough that has been sitting in the fridge for 3 hours. So I'm going to use my measuring scoop to scoop out my cookies. Oh, that's got a nice kind of consistency to it. I always see lots of cookie videos. I always see how different creators use different apparatuses, but I think one thing for me that I've really had to embrace during my baking journey is I don't need every tool, and you can use what you have at home. So for example, I don't have an ice cream scoop. I don't really eat ice cream now that I think about it, but yeah, I don't have an ice cream scoop, but I do have a measuring spoon. I also have a tablespoon. So I think if you are watching this trying to get some baking tips, my biggest tip really is to use what you have. You don't need to go out and buy everything all at once. You can build up to it, and if you find yourself repeatedly needing something, then that is when you know it's time to buy. And that's been my approach to every item that I've bought. Like, I've not done a massive shop. I've really just allowed naturally for each thing to join my collection. This tray is quite small, so we could really only fit 6 on here. And I'm going to put these in the oven for, I'm going to put these in for 9 minutes. The timer has just gone off. Let's take a quick look at our cookies. They look so good, but unfortunately they are not done. Let me bring them out so you can see. So they're kind of okay, but they're a bit pale for my taste. I like a bit more of a brown cookie, but they smell absolutely gorgeous. They smell so good. I'm going to turn them around. I'm going to put them in for like 2 more minutes. Let's see how these are looking. Through the glass, these are looking much better. Oh, what a delight. This is just what I am talking about. These are nicely browned. So now I'm going to do our next batch. These look so good. Oh my god. They look so good. Okay. It's funny because now I want to just make a batch of cookies for myself. These look so good. These look amazing. And I know my mum is gonna love these. Do you know, I might keep one cookie. I do need to taste test these because they look the part, but I don't know if they're gonna taste the part. I'll also be curious to see how many cookies I'm able to make because it really does vary. I can make anywhere between like 15 and 10 cookies depending. I'm gonna leave this in for 9 minutes. Where's me 9 timer? 9 minutes on the clock. While I'm here, let me take some pictures. Let me take some pictures. These look gorgeous. Oh my god. The alarm is going off. 9 minutes done. Okay, cookies are looking pale. You see how pale these look? And just uncooked. I'm gonna flip that over and leave them in there for another 2 minutes. But you can tell they're coming along quite nicely though. Oh, gorgeous. These look stunning. I kind of want to leave them in for like an extra minute to be a bit more brown, but I'm gonna take them out. Whoa, okay. That was not graceful at all. I split one. Oh. Hot. I may have to stop baking just because I don't think I've got enough space for all of my paper. Let me just keep these. I think that should do. Look at this. Look at all of the cookies. So far we've got 12 cookies. I'm going to do another batch of cookies. So coming back to this, God. Also my goal is to use up all of my excess baking paper that I have. Scrape down the bowl. There's a lot of stuff in the bowl. I love how well these scoop. And I think refrigerating in between each bake is a great way to make sure you're getting a good cookie. Oh, these look so good. I don't want to give them all away. Oh, this is going to be a super chocolatey cookie. Okay, so we're coming to the end of the batter. I made about like 20 cookies. I love when it works out. Delightful. I think my first batch are cool. Oh yeah, my first batch are completely cool. Well, not completely cool, but they're cool enough. And this is how much batter we have left. This is a different kind of baking video. But I hope you guys are enjoying it. Don't forget to leave me a comment and to give this video a thumbs up if you are enjoying it so far. And also don't forget to subscribe as well. Make sure you're subscribing. Okay, cookies are out of the oven. I've got maybe like 2 more cookies worth of cookie dough to make. So I'm gonna put those in the oven, but I think I'm gonna keep those because I'm running a bit late. So I'm going to pack up these cookies. These will not fit into a food container, so the best thing I can really think to do is just to wrap this up in foil. I'm gonna try and do like a cute thing. I want to wrap these in a nice way. Tempting to do something that I've never done. Oh, that's cute. That's kind of cute. Should I just make one large cookie? This is how much cookie dough I've got left. I'm gonna just make one large cookie instead of splitting that in half. Final cookie. Hopefully it doesn't spread too much. And again, I'm gonna leave this in for 9 minutes. My alarm is ringing. Let's see where we are with this cookie. Oh, this cookie looks so good. That looks amazing. I did put this in for 9 minutes and then I put it in for an extra 2 minutes and then I put it in for an extra 1 minute. So all in all, this cookie was in for 12 minutes. I've also wrapped up my cookies in here in foil. So I've got like a massive loaf. So I'm gonna wrap up the rest of the cookies and then I'm gonna put them in here and then we're gonna head off. It's the next day and I thought we would do a little taste test. Look how big this is. This is a big ass cookie. So good. Good. Okay, let's taste it. Oh, that is a good cookie. That is so good. Perfect. Love it. Wow, this is such a good cookie. Wow. Okay. Wow. That is a good cookie. Oh my god. I'm so jealous. I have half of mine to go back to my mom's house and steal my cookies back. That is a good cookie. Amazing. I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you tried this recipe, let me know down below in the comments. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.